Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome in. It is Old School 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com. With you for the next few hours, it is Austin Orman and Jay Foreman. 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Join in right here, 402-464-5685. Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line and video streams are open and available for you, as is the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Jay Foreman, Husker Hall of Famer, 8-year NFL vet. How were those smothered pork chops? Did you end up getting around to them this weekend?
Oh, yeah. You know I always get it. They were scale of 1 to 7. They were first time out a strong 5.6. 5.6. So
better than 4.4, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 7, Nebraska football had a 6. Maybe you can say it's a 7 and a 7-point win. I'm going to give it a 6 because they got win number 6. Nebraska bowl eligible after a 28-21 win over Northwestern. Jay, has anything you thought about that game, that performance from Nebraska, changed since we last discussed that game in the Jay Foreman postgame?
I think, the best thing that happened, I think that you won. I think Northwestern, when you go back and watch the game, is a lot better than people give them credit for. And this is not saying that, Nebraska definitely needs to play better, right? Mm-hmm. And finish or whatever, we'll get into that. But I was thinking about this, and this is separate from Nebraska, but it'll give some context to the game, to Northwestern. Over the last, I'm just adding in my 10 to 12 years, they haven't been a hotbed for NFL talent, but they put some dang good players in the NFL and also college players.
Greg Newsome, you look at Skoronski and
Slater, big man they got there.
Cam Porter's an NFL running back.
Right, and they've had a couple of those quarterbacks now. I know they came in.
Simeon.
Through the portal and all this other stuff, but, they got, Fitzgerald, number 2. What's the linebacker they had? He was number 42. Seemed like he was there 85 years.
Yeah, the one that kind of ripped the ball out from Emmett after he was very clearly down.
The other one? No, the guy that was there when Fitzgerald was there.
Yeah.
And then they had his counterpart that took over afterwards. What I'm saying is the Northwestern's identity hasn't changed. It's just been a flow over. mainly because of their head coach, who was supposed to be their defensive coordinator, who was handpicked by Fitzgerald. So, that's one thing that they were going to bring. It was a physical game. Nebraska, what do you say? Nebraska was able to, match their physicality, bring it, maybe make Northwestern. I think they might have caught Northwestern by surprise, maybe by being as physical as they were, and purposeful in being physical. And then, Nebraska was able to, gut it out. I think, it goes without saying. I think the upgrade in special teams has probably led to three last victories.
Arguable. Yeah. You can talk me into that.
Well, here's what we could just go over in
Michigan State block punt.
And the squib kick.
That
comes from scouting.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also, look, Michigan State special teams have not been good. But you
took advantage of it.
But that doesn't mean Nebraska special teams doesn't need to do what they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So there, I think that's 2 turnovers right there.
Yeah.
Right? And 2 huge plays. I mean,
yeah.
Maryland, kickoff return for a touchdown. You don't get those. Look,
the 85-yarder.
Or 85-yarder.
Yeah. Almost
and then it's a layup after that. I mean,
but it hasn't been a layup for Nebraska, even though you've gotten that before.
Right.
So credit special teams for at least getting them in position.
Huge return to, and it's the momentum shifts, though.
Yeah.
Which is essentially a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Huge 85-yard return leads to normally an easy touchdown.
Yeah. Which they paid off.
Which they got.
Mm-hmm.
And then last game, kickoff return.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when this is not to reference the 90s or heck, you know what? I'm not even going to dance around it anymore. I get,
just say what you say.
You get tired of is like people make you feel bad for, success.
For being good.
Yeah. It's like survivor's remorse. You know what I mean? How dare you be good? So, but I was saying I was blessed enough to where when we were here, and I remember specifically when we played Virginia Tech in the bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
It was personal because they were really good on special teams. So we won. It was a battle, like the 2 best teams. Coach Osborne used special teams as such a momentum shift to show you the importance of it. Now I think you're seeing it, right? And where Coach Rule went out and they got Coach Eckler. He's very detailed. He's used it as kind of a play, instead of just a nuisance. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's
not just something you have to do, just another random play.
Right.
It's a play.
Right.
Play.
And so even when what people I played special teams and all through college and all through pros.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird when you hear kids that now they don't want to play. Like that's how I got paid. And it worked out pretty well.
Say that again.
That's how I got paid. That's how I can kind of do what I want to do. That was the start. And then I was able to do other things. Even when he does this motion stuff on punt team, it puts more stress on the whole coaching staff. People don't realize that. Cause now I've been blessed enough to play it long enough and understand it. Here's how it puts stress throughout the whole team. The defensive players and the offensive players that are on punt return specifically, they have another thing they have to prepare for versus just the basic punt and this spread punt. I still am not convinced there's a good reason to do that, to line up like that in punt team. I'm serious. You cannot convince me it's more productive to punt the ball like that than they do in the NFL. You just can't. But it is. But when you motion and all that with it, it puts more pressure on the punt return team. It actually weakens them. Because if they want to get a return, instead of going for the block when you have them back there, say you want to have a return on, well, now you got another guy that's in motion. So if he misses the punt return, person that's blocking misses the guy that's in motion, it's over. You could have 9 great blocks or not set up right. You could have the wall set up. One guy just on that motion, or he forgets or gets mixed up in the motion. And so that's right there a plus. More importantly, it has to be an emphasis from top down, which obviously it is. So which that allows a Coach Eckler, Coach Martin, all the assistants to obviously put the pressure on guys to understand this is not a period off.
Mm-hmm.
then you start to see the fruition. Then you start to see, guys giving the extra effort and making blocks. And then obviously, you get diamonds in the rough of Williams, who's just right here from right down the street, right? I knew how fast he was because so Mikey Agoye, who's a basketball player, his brother is at Iowa State. So I've been knowing them, Mikey more, through basketball, but I know his brother, them dudes can pick him up and put him down. And they had a heck of a run there at Lincoln High under unique circumstances.
Cedric Case,
you're right.
QB, the whole
that's
thing.
them.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get a diamond in the rough, a guy that has really strong hold on the kickoff return. There you go. And then that's how you're able to kind of, if special teams didn't win the game, because obviously I think everybody, it's a team game. It's a huge part. And you need that. And it's in 3 victories now. It got you bowl eligible.
Well, your 3 conference victories.
Oh, yeah. And so that's where the plus is. And, things need to be shored up on offense. It felt like we ran the ball pretty good, obviously, without saying. I think that you saw the little bit of little Peyton Manning, which I mentioned, I think Friday. The Indianapolis Colts, when Peyton came in the league, didn't have a good offensive line. Had an okay offensive line. But when how they worked around it is we got Marvin Harrison, we got Edgerrin James, who was a problem. So then it makes the defense just back up. You had Dilger as the tight end, who was all pro, and then obviously you had Peyton.
You had Reggie Wayne eventually.
They had multiple. They had great guys, but what they did was it was the timing and it was the getting the ball out quick, so you couldn't really hit Peyton. So the teams that really did well against them threw the timing off, but that's few and far between. So offensively, Nebraska went to a little bit of that quick passing game to circumvent the offensive line woes, and so it worked out at times, and it worked out when they needed it the most. And that's the last drive, and then the defense was able to hold serve.
We'll talk about that clutch factor coming up in our next segment. I think that's really worth diving into. Let's get to 6496 here on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Jay, do you see Mike Eckler's traits, the energy, the enthusiasm, and his ability to coach, making him a potential candidate for a head coaching job down the line? Obviously, that'd be a bit of a unique kind of jump to go from a special teams coordinator to a head coaching job. But when you look at Mike Eckler, you see how he operates, you hear how he operates at practice. Do you think Mike Eckler is a guy that maybe not this year for a few years, but down the line could be a head coaching candidate?
Maybe. I don't see why not. I think it's one of those things that if that's what he chooses to do. You look at John Harbaugh, who's former special teams coach, no coordinator experience or anything like that. It really comes down to being a head coach. You just got to be. Not gotta. Number one, you got to be a leader. All right. Number one, number two, you got to be detailed, and then you got to have like humility. And then the football stuff is what you hire the coordinators for. So, of course he could if it's something that he chooses to do. I don't think the energy and all that stuff, you're not going to hire a coach like that because you got to kind of be hands off. But I could see you do it. I think good coaches are good coaches, period.
Regardless of what you're asked to do,
I think the biggest thing, the worst thing that you can do, this is my opinion, is sit there and tell somebody, oh, you don't have enough experience, so you can't be a coach, or you only a coach linebacker, so you can't be a D coordinator, or you can't you don't know how to do that. Yeah, they do. That's low hanging fruit. I just think the best coaches are very effective communicators, teachers. They're very thorough. They are very hard, though, but they're fair.
They have an edge.
Yeah. They're hard, but they're fair. It's never personal. It's all about football. And then when they got to deal with stuff outside of football, then it's a totally different situation. But they do go together, right? Because you can't be with no accountability off the field and then all of a sudden walk in the building and all of a sudden now you're just accountability guy or whatever. So, sure. Look, I'll tell you a story about Mike Eckler. that I doubt he even remembers because now he's like, he thinks he's a superstar and stuff, right?
He's a little busy right now.
Yeah. But is when I think he just got named the linebacker coach here when he was with Bo. I think he was with Bo. Matter of fact, I know he's with Bo. And I think I came back for a game, and he was great. We talked every once in a while, and we had a mutual friend. Actually, it was Todd Profit, who's obviously since passed away. And Todd was a great mentor of mine when I was in college. So he was around the program doing this thing, and I had somehow sent a message, and it was Philip Dillard, the linebacker. Mm-hmm. So they had him playing like a will, and I know he was struggling a little bit. And I talked to Phil. I remember now, granted, I'm not taking credit for it. Mike Eckler decided to do it, and I said, "Man, try him at middle."
Rest is history.
Yeah, he ended up doing it. Now Phil he's a wild boy now when he got to the league, but he did all right. So, I think one of the things that's good about the addition of Eckler is that he can make it happen, and he's made it happen. I think the pressure of continuing to be successful, the pressure of continuing to actually uptick it. Now we're getting into the last 4 weeks. Sure, the schedule's been pretty light, but now we're playing USC. We're going to play Iowa, who's probably the biggest challenge special teams wise. You're not going to get one. It's not going to be Michigan State. They're going to cover the heck out of the ball. So now you got to really get it out of the mud against them. Penn State's just going to have really good athletes and all that. So you're going to have to really uptick your execution.
Yeah, Iowa, I think, is an interesting test because if you can do it against them, you can do it against anybody. You got to prove that you can do it against, to your point, a mediocre or worse Michigan State special teams unit. Then you took advantage of a bad moment from Northwestern, who's usually disciplined and sound in those moments. But man, you get a test like that. That's what you should be looking forward to. I would think, whether it's, Dana Holgorsen and Phil Parker going at it, or LeVar Woods and Mike Eckler going at it, matching wits, so be it. John Butler versus Tim Lester, a little less of a notable matchup, given what those two units have been. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman talking some Husker football here, leading off hour one of Old School. I want to ask you this, Jay. You brought it up in your opening monologue there about, Nebraska played better, Nebraska played tougher. Mm-hmm. Is Matt Rule all of a sudden a good coach again because Nebraska played tougher? Or what was it about Nebraska that you think made them play tougher? Was it being challenged all week? Was it seeing a couple leaders on the team like Vincent Shavers and Rocco Spindler gut it out through injuries? Was it maybe, Teddy Prohaska going down? Maybe some inspirational, win one for Teddy, whose college football career is done. What do you think went into Nebraska playing tougher, more consistently against Northwestern?
You get called to the carpet. You embarrass yourself. I'm sure there's other factors, but look, man, they got punked on national TV, and they're probably not like that. I think Minnesota played pretty dang good, and Nebraska played
really dang bad,
real bad, and played a little soft, and didn't play with enough energy and want to, and they knew what was coming. They knew the great thing for them, like I kept saying, is that I wouldn't call it fear that Northwestern is coming in, because you don't ever put on the pads and fear anybody.
Right.
But the tremendous amount of respect on how Northwestern has got to where they're at up until this game, and obviously still now, but 5-2, was their physicality. Where was they broke Penn State.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it. I watched it. I saw the tap out session. So that's really good for Nebraska versus if you played a throw it up around the ballpark type of team and you get a little bit of a week off from a physicality standpoint. So now, do you ever want to be in that position where you kind of embarrass yourself from a physical standpoint, effort standpoint, and then have to come back a week later and play against a team that is physical? That's the only, that is who they are and who they always been. No, because you'd like to just do it twice and this should be who you are. So I think circumstantial. And then obviously I think sometimes you got to be pushed, get backed in the corner and see what you're made of. And they were able to answer the call.
Matt Rule had a couple interesting things to say after the game and then today at his press conference. The one thing, Jay, just listening back to his post-game presser that stood out to me, and maybe he didn't mean this way, but it's the way that I'm going to take it and tell me if I'm wrong. But Matt Rule mentioned that he thought Emmett Johnson, he was kind of bummed that Emmett Johnson got in as quickly as he did. Matt Rule wanted to bleed the clock down a little bit more and not save Northwestern as much time. I get it in a game theory sense, right? You'd rather score with quadruple zeros on the clock, kick the walk-off field goal, and call it good. But, man, when I hear Matt Rule say that, not that he was disappointed Emmett scored, not that he's disappointed his team takes the lead, but based on the game situation, that just sounds a little bit ahead of his skis to me. Like, Nebraska still, I think, is in that learning to win stage. Better now, right? Winning more one-score games. But, man, I don't think Nebraska's in a spot for its head coach to be picky about how they win. Maybe that's not what he was getting at.
I don't think he was getting at that. I think he's just getting it like to where you're playing the clock game, right? And you want to kind of suffocate him. And, I mean, I think it was what he was saying is you want to put so much pressure on an inept quarterback throwing-wise that they have no chance to win based on timeouts left in the game, chance that the refs might give him 2 pass interference calls that it doesn't happen, which, you know what I'm saying? You want to kind of you're trying to win the game, but I don't think he was thinking like you're thinking. I think he was more or less thinking about, you've seen guys do this at times, right? So they can run in and score a touchdown and they slide and they get credit for it, right? And because
Emmett slid down at the end of the game, though.
Yeah, you did do all that stuff. No, I do understand that, but you saw it against Bama where they let the receiver score to get a chance to come back and or South Carolina didn't work out for you. So it's all the situation of football. That's what he's probably hoping for that. But you're right and he's right. No, he's probably more right because he's a head coach and we ended up winning. But ultimately, the way where we're at, to your point, you don't ever turn your nose up at scoring or getting the lead.
The main reason I bring that up was to go back to how the first half ended. You want to double dip. You want the ball last at the end of the first half, especially because you're receiving the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
But, man, I didn't think Nebraska was operating with a great sense of urgency at the end of the first half. It kind of felt like they were playing for a field goal or playing the clock too much, more so than the time. Now, it worked out for Nebraska because Northwestern ran its one play and went to the locker room. But, man, I still have some questions about how Matt Rule and his staff handle end of half and end of game.
End of game is fine because you won. I mean, you got to score. I mean, you put it in the defense's hands. So the end of the game, I think, is fine.
It sounded like he didn't want to do that. Like, you want to have the ball last.
Yeah, I think
ideal.
I think that's like word salad, kind of really hanging. I'm
making too much of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not a knock on you, but it could be perceived that it could be perceived that way. Because really, if he didn't say anything, nobody was, we wouldn't even be talking about it. So I mean, I see his point, but then I think when I just look at this game here, and then I'll get to the first half real quick, into the first half after this. I don't care against Northwestern. I don't care when you score. It could be 5 minutes left. We got, or at least 2 minutes left, and as long as we don't allow them to get a big return, they ain't scoring. That dude, even though Stone, he's gotten better. Yo, my man is a running back playing quarterback. Listen, I don't know if he has a torn rotator cuff or doesn't have his short arm or has too much shoulder build, his deltoid's too big. Yo, he can't skip a rock 15 yards accurately.
My guess is some of it's the baseball, too, with the arm angle. Right. Drop it a little bit.
Right.
I'm betting he's a former baseball guy.
And he loses so much velocity and his inexperience of playing. I mean, okay, so the interception to Javen Wright, that's predetermined. He literally broke the huddle. 1, 2, 3, I'm throwing it.
He was looking at 17, Wildy.
Yeah,
right
but 17 was never open.
That's to your point. It was predetermined. He looked at one guy.
But even if he was throwing it to that window, he didn't even have the arm strength to get it there.
Between that many guys.
Because you have to throw it before he comes out of that break on the end cut in that dead spot. You threw it to like it was practice.
Which you don't think a defense like that would give that look in practice.
So my point is, I was never. Once they got 7 point, I won't worry. They can't beat you passing the ball. Now, if they got the ball to like go to the 50, where they could get one, break a tackle, shake a leg, and do something, then hand the ball off with some time to go 80 yards, they ain't have a chance.
Well, that last play.
Now we talking to peanut oil.
Okay. They hit him Marshall on that slant and go 2 different times. They hit in the first half for 37, then went back to it in crunch time and just missed.
That was the dead leg.
The TJ Lateef Houston Christian dead leg, or
it was just the dead leg. It was a dead leg, slant and go, sluggo. Yeah, he was open, and he was accurate in inaccuracy. He's inaccurate on deep balls. You saw when one of the things that on my black shirt breakdown, he just blindly throws seam go, and it's not even close. Like I guarantee you, in practice, he don't complete it. Because even the one that he missed that went out of to Nebraska sidelines, that was kind of open.
Mm-hmm.
You dropped that in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of got, it is. He's almost probably better. I'm trying to think if he's better throwing to his left or right, but Nebraska got bailed out with probably a non-call there.
It just reminds me so much of that one from Eagles Chiefs the first time.
Yeah,
Eagles got called for it. Nebraska did.
Yeah. But do they still score? Sure.
They have 4 cracks to score from inside the 5.
And a little bit of that is, when you're playing kind of like somewhat prevent because you're playing the clock and all that. It's like that last touchdown Michigan gave up against us. You're playing, you're kind of give and take there. Ultimately, Nebraska was able to win. Now, real quick, before we go to the first half.
We'll go to break before we do that.
Yeah, we'll go to break because I think it's one of those things. Like an analogy in golf. You only can go to your flop shot a couple times. Yeah, a couple times.
We'll talk more about that. And which was the more clutch unit for Nebraska against Northwestern? Was it the offense or the defense with, of course, the flowers we gave to special teams already? He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. This is Old School on the Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Norman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Bonsall Pool and Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool and Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School on a beautiful Monday in the capital city. Nebraska football moves to 6-2. They take down Northwestern 28-21. I'm Austin Orman. He is Jay Foreman, talking about this for the next couple and a half hours here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Jay, we were going to get to this in kind of a roundabout way. My question was, who was more clutch on Saturday, the Nebraska offense or the Nebraska defense? But something you and I talked about a little bit on postgame is, even though both had their clutch moments, right? Nebraska 5 of 7 on third down in the second half, 9 of 9 passing on third down, and really good in money time, right? The game-winning drive to go ahead. Defense ends up with the stop after it got gashed for a couple drives. One of my big points was, it's great that Nebraska was clutch. It'd be nice if Nebraska didn't have to be clutch. When they get up by 15 points, and Matt Rule talked at length about that today, but man, it's just, feels like the offense had a chance there at the end of the first half to give some breathing room. That special teams, to its credit, did come through and provide with the spark. Then the defense comes up big. Nebraska wins 3 possessions in a row to build the 15-point lead. But I just think, especially at the end of half, we know Nebraska brought its starters, back out there for one more drive at the end of the first half against Akron and Houston Christian. And then in the second half, right, it wasn't good enough in the 2-minute against Akron. So Nebraska brings the starters out there for a possession. They get their score, and the day is done there. Situational football is big, especially in the Big Ten, right? We've talked a lot about special teams improving, but both offensively and defensively, it's great that Nebraska had the drive to go down and win the game against Northwestern, just like it did against Maryland. It's great that the defense was able to hold up against Maryland and against Northwestern. But it felt to me like in that game, Nebraska's offense missed a couple, not quite gift wrap, but close to gift wrapped opportunities. Sure. And even the defense too. Van Poppel falls on that fumble. that's a big opportunity to make it so you don't have to be clutch later in the game.
Yeah, you get maybe 3 points or whatever. You could just get another, bite at the apple. Every game there's missed opportunities. Special teams came up clutch. The defense and offense came up clutch. At different times. I think they're just trying to get that. I always try to look at the best teams have it's like you ever go to what is it, Great Wolf Lodge?
Mm-hmm.
You know how they do it, and like one big thing of water flows over to another bucket, and then boom, it comes down on you. That's what you want your team to be, to have. What people are wanting is the flow of the game to be real smooth. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not. Number one, there's great coaches on every other side of the field, right? And there's players that are invested over there. Everybody's a Division I Power 4 athlete, more in particular in the Big Ten. So, they can play football. What you need to do is take that next step, and who knows when that will be, and I think it'll never be perfect, is that when you get an opportunity, you step on the neck. But you also have to understand these teams will fight back. I think I keep saying this. These young Nebraska fans, or fans in general, they want to kind of shun the 90s, but you want to show up and watch the 90s in real time. It's harder now. And the reason why I'm saying it is because when you play all the ranked teams saying we play, we just lined up and we just beat our games were in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when they're learning how to do what? They're past losing football, knock on wood. Now they're learning how to win consistently, but the fans want them to go to championship football. It's a process. They're getting there. They're making strides. They're finding ways to win. They're finding ways to, show the will to win, to, make plays when they need to and do the things they need to do. So now then they got to understand that, the boring plays and all that stuff, make them look spectacular, and understand situational football a little bit more, understand each other a little bit more, know the why a lot more. That's what helps, right? Because, all right, okay, for instance, on the long run that squirted out the right side there, Cam Linhart destroyed the guy, but he
was having fun doing it too.
Yeah, but he buried the guy, or buried himself into him. And then the guy ran right past him, or ran, kind of squirted out of there. So you gotta understand holistically what the deal is. And they're getting there. And it's a little bit harder now because of the transfer portal, but it's also can be a little bit easier once you really start to dive into the plays and turn every play into maximum, obviously intensity, and obviously, diving into the details of the play.
Right. And I don't want to make a big deal about nothing, right? Because most parts that Nebraska did find a way to win. What does still bother and concern me, though, is that the plays that Nebraska missed were on Nebraska, like simple plays, right? Did Northwestern do anything fancy to force that fumble on Dylan Raiola? No, Dylan, why are you going airborne?
Yeah. Well, he's trying to get the first down.
I know, but airborne, right? That's being in the moment, right? Not getting sped up. Why are you jumping for the first down? Have you been taught to jump over your line, right? That's a Dylan thing, that, again, did end up hurting Nebraska, but there's a chance to at least get a field goal into halftime. You're up 10-6, which I know is still just a one-possession game, but you feel a little bit better about two scoring drives. And then Riley Van Poppel on the fumble. He was over the football.
Yeah,
that's a big dude.
That's a
just pick up the ball, and you don't maybe have to make that one extra stop at the end because you have an extra possession of cushion.
Yeah, contrary though.
Okay.
Contrary. Contraire.
Au contraire, mon frere.
Mon frere. Right. Now I say it differently when I'm in the garage, with my buddies, but here's the deal. The Dylan thing, he's just trying to make a play. It's 4th and 1, right?
His options are covered.
There is no, he's just trying to make something happen because, it was actually, we used to call those essentially, what do we call that? We used to call it ghost. I think it was like berserk to flat. Essentially, it's like it's a hard play for a running back or a linebacker to cover. It's actually an excellent play by that defense because the guy that's covering him you're essentially in chase mode against a guy that's faster than you, and he covered it like a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
And then under those circumstances, you can't really go to your second or third read. Now he saw it, that was covered. Or Northwestern had a great play, so he's like, I got to make something happen. Now, sure,
just blows my mind that Dylan Raiola thinks his play is to jump,
but
not just follow your offensive lineman.
But there's no other option, and I'm going to give you.
He landed on top of his offensive lineman when he jumped, so just keep your feet behind the guy, and fall down.
Yes, at the end, yeah, you could say, okay,
that's the only. That's what I'm like. I get the reads
in
are
the
covered.
moment.
I get that.
Also, when he's trying to make that play, I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just trying to think what he's thinking. 85 million things are going through your mind. You got about half a second to make a decision. Now, he probably think like, I'm sure when they watched the tape, he could have went here or there. So that's fine. And sure, he probably don't want you to go airborne. Probably just try to like get the, tush push. But your first option is locked down. Your second option is locked down. It's like, oh crap, I got to make something happen. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I will deal with that, and we can learn from that, because that's probably only going to happen maybe one more time this season. Versus Russell Wilson on fourth down, throwing it out of bounds on 4th and 1 to save his quarterback rating. I'm gonna deal with a guy that's gonna try to compete. Now I want you to compete more realistically. I can deal with that. Again, Dylan's still a young quarterback.
Right. But here's my main issue that I'm getting to is this is a guy in Dylan Raiola that they talk through his ability to process the game.
Yeah.
It's one thing to do it pre-snap, but then post-snap. Maybe that's the next step. Maybe he's young and I'm being too harsh on him. But if he's getting paid with what he's able to do, it's great that he can do the pre-snap, but post-snap, Dylan, in these moments, right, in these plays, I'm not asking for you to be perfect 100% of the time. But if you're going to be the best player on the team, right, top 3 player on offense, it's got to show up in the big moments.
Yeah.
And like it or not, that was a big moment where he made a wrong decision. It bit his team.
Right.
He made a lot of right decisions. He did. He was a gamer. He was a baller in the 4th quarter again. But man, I wish Nebraska would get to the step in the phase where they don't have to be gamers and ballers in the 4th quarter to the same degree, because you handled business with a minute left in the 2nd quarter, where you gave yourself that extra little breathing. You're paid for the moments. Right. Yeah, you're paid for 60 minutes of football, but if you're one of Nebraska's best players, when those moments pop up, you got to handle business.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my main point.
Yeah. We're both right. I'm just saying that, like, for him, here's where you're at, like, for him. And this is just part of it. I mean, there's no different. I tell him, you know what I mean? Dylan's like he family to me. I tell Dom, it's not anything like harsh. Hey, dude, I don't care that you're 20, or people don't care that you're 20 or 19, 20. I don't know. I
probably
know,
20 by now.
I know how old he is. That's the dang shit. Hey, you're right.
He's extended family. You know all the birthdays outside of Facebook.
Here's the thing. I don't get hyped about birthdays because I just enjoy everybody at the moment. Hey, big shout out to Chuck Foreman. His birthday yesterday.
Oh, shout out Chuck Foreman.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame birthday coming up. Here we go.
So I say, look, dude, here's what people know around about how much you're getting paid. So everything that you do positively is going to be magnified times 10. Everything that you don't do, or what they perceive not doing, is times 10. It's always somewhere in between. I will say this. Dylan's a young quarterback, right? And he has a lot of experience, but he's still a young quarterback. And he's playing in the best league out there, or at least whether it's second best league or best league, you're playing essentially semi-pro football. So everything that he's being accustomed or being, exposed to is a lot different than if you played in the Big 12 and ACC. And I don't even think there's much difference with that, because they pose different problems down there. Yeah. As we've seen with Cincinnati, in the way that they play defense, they are able to close gaps a little bit different. Also think, in my opinion, like, the moments are great, right? Because the moments are what people in this era, or this like fan, or, the younger fans, because that's what's on the internet. Like, the best quarterbacks, the best guys make the plays you don't ever see.
Yes.
And so if I'm gonna talk to Dylan about that, I'm gonna talk to him about all the stuff outside of that, because those plays, the plays that I'm talking about, those are the ones you're gonna play in however long you get to play football.
Why'd you get to 4th down to begin with? Could we have done something different on second down?
And this isn't even about him. I'm saying those are just the plays that you're going to have to do. The I call them pitch and catch. Those are the ones that you got to do. The ones that you place the ball where a guy can make a catch, or the one that that a linebacker is coming to get him, and you have already told Barney that I got to throw this low and left, and you get those sneaky first downs. And so, it's a magnified play, number one, because we didn't get the first down on fourth down.
And it was a turnover.
And we got it a couple times prior, and it's right before half. And it's kind of some of the things that, replicated from not Michigan State, Minnesota, and, being a little bit stuck in the mud. But more importantly, when you really think about it, like all the things that you got to continue to improve on, are just the ones that, that are just the everyday plays, because that's how you play quarterback. I mean, that's how they get. Like,
that's what I've been begging for out of Nebraska quarterbacks. Is it's great if you can be Superman.
But
for the most part.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
He played regular quarterback the first game. Everybody's like, you look pedestrian. And then now he's, kind of a little bit more, outside the box than they want you to play it. I think at the end of the day, it's just that they just got to be a little bit more efficient. Not a little bit more, a lot more efficient on offense. They got to understand the continuity of the game. And what it takes to be winning football, and it's an offense getting better defensively too. Understanding how important, I can't emphasize it enough, how important it is to understand that you are operating individually, but you have to think collectively. When I have to set the edge
on 1st and 5,
it doesn't matter when I have to set the edge, like blindly, knowing that there's a bigger purpose. But if I keep setting that edge, I'm going to make a play like McCullough has been able to do at times. But
you can't get tired of it.
But once I make a play, I have to set the edge like I did before I got the payoff. Here's why. Because if I continue to set the edge, my alley filler, my cutback, and my free hitter are so much better in the run game. Then it allows everybody else in the pass game, meaning that means everybody has to worry about me on the outside if I'm, doing what I need to do in pass rush. Now that's all based on differently. How you rush Stone in USC's quarterback or Michigan's quarterback is a lot different. But everything's important, because if I have to rush middle, and we'll have Jason Peter here on Wednesday, and he'll tell you the difference, because what I do as an outside rusher affects Jason. What Jason does affects out, the end. What the two on the right side definitely affects the left side. I talk about Gary Walker all the time. We run a perfect blitz for Peyton Manning on 3rd down. You don't pull him up. We don't even get a hit on the quarterback. He throws a ball, whatever. But then we did it when he did it correct. We did it one time correctly, and a couple weeks later against the Raiders, we got a pick 6. Another time we missed a couple sacks. It's all important. That's where you take a next step defensively. Sure, we can get, everybody wants to talk about next year and all this other stuff, and we're in the middle of this dang season and in the defense and all that. But doesn't matter if you bring in, like, all right, here it's almost disrespectful to defense, the great defense, like Chicago Bears. They ran the 46 defense. You think that they weren't like fundamentally sound?
That's all they were. Until they could play football.
They had great players, right? Without a doubt. But part of the reason all those guys are considered maybe the best defense of all time, or one of them, is because they played together. They did what they needed to do. You get what I'm saying?
But they were coached to do nothing more, nothing less.
It's like but they knew the why, though.
Yeah.
Like Mike Singletary knew what he needed to do, because Dan Hampton and McMichael and all those guys were doing what they needed to do. So then they were able to kind of play freely, but be so like systematically sound that they stifled everybody. So Nebraska's got to continue to do that. And once they do that, then you'll start to see consistent play.
Appreciate everyone texting in on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Brandon says he will be in town at the USC game, a 14-hour drive for him.
Where's he coming from?
Yeah, Brandon, let us know where are you coming from. Stop by the
14
station.
14 hours. Where could you that's got to be California or Texas? It was 14 hours. That's longer than California. California's way longer than that, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my buddy and I drove to Naples. It was 24. He's coming from Texas. Must be pretty South Texas.
That's got to be like H-Town.
Like
Houston.
Yeah, probably Houston area. Is that true, Brandon? Brandon, is that true? Are you coming from H-Town? South Houston. There we go. There we go. There we go. We asked the Houston expert.
So Brandon, we you're gonna have to bring a little care package for your boy. I got a couple spots you need to bring me something back. I'll get
1040 O Street is the address you will come to, Brandon.
Yeah. But Brandon, we're gonna have to talk offline. We gotta have you bring up some stuff.
We'll go to break. We'll get Jay and Brandon connected for the care package and wrap up hour one of Old School after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Bonsall Pool and Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool and Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Crinkle cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brief segment here, wrapping up hour 1 of Old School. Plenty more to get to on Nebraska football's win over Northwestern, setting up the month of November. Nebraska at 6-2. Jay, let's go ahead and get to this here from 1171 right now, because Matt Rules asked about it a little bit today. Right now, how many Big Ten and SEC teams get in the playoff, and who are your picks for playoff teams out of the Big Ten and the SEC?
Ooh. Well, Oregon.
Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana.
I think there's going to be another one.
Ooh, see, I'm less convinced. I think this could be a three-team Big Ten this year.
The TD ain't having that. And
that means 1 year 6-2 teams has to go 4-0.
Knuckle up, Jack.
You think USC goes 4-0? Nebraska goes 4-0?
Somebody can go
Iowa?
9-3. Somebody can go 9-3, but it's got to look good. This game right here, this that we got Saturday night,
eliminator.
Oh, this is winner take all. Mm-hmm. This is straight up like a street fight.
Yeah.
This is winner take all.
Mm-hmm.
So the winner of this game got the leg up of getting in there. First of all, you're on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska beats USC, they will be ranked. Nebraska will then get UCLA. Just say Nebraska.
7-2 Nebraska will get UCLA.
Then you play at Penn State. You'll have some eyes on that game for
off the bye week.
Off the just all the hoopla around it, and who knows if Penn State will have a coach then. And then Iowa will probably be ranked by then. If they should be ranked by then. If they just play like Iowa's. And that's on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
USC is the same. Illinois probably is eliminated. Washington is on the sneak. They're 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be now the SEC has it, but I think
Bama, Georgia.
Okay, so Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's Vandy. Okay. Now you could get 5 if your boy Stand on Business runs the table, potentially Tennessee.
But is that at the expense of that 4th Big Ten team?
Exactly.
My thought is yes.
Well, we'll see. A little give and take. Do you want to see 5 in there and 3? Because then when you go back to the table and negotiating TV contracts, even you're two now. If a Big Ten team wins a national championship, then we're back at it. But I mean, you have to look at A&M's in there. Yeah, it might get 6.
So hold on. It'll be Bama, A&M.
Do you think Georgia gets in? I don't think Georgia gets in.
Georgia needs one more marquee win.
Yeah.
So Bama, A&M, Vandy, and
hold on, A&M.
Bama's made up for it.
A&M, Bama. As it stands right now, Ole Miss, Vandy,
and then
you got Stand on Business, Missouri
versus Kirby,
and then
versus Tennessee.
They in the driver's seat right now. Right now. You have to look at all the schedules, put them by, and then you see.
There'll be time to do that in the future. We'll go to break. When we get back, let's take a look at November for Nebraska. Is Nebraska playing like a team with the capability to keep the run going? Or what does a successful November look like for Nebraska? We'll break that down, starting with the USC game next on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group. The best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Celebrate Halloween with the Lincoln Stars a day early on Thursday, October 30th, as the Stars host the Sioux City Musketeers. Wear your favorite costume to the game, as there's a contest for both adults and kids with prizes for both age levels. Also, it's a Chuck-a-Puck night, and PBR beers are 2 for $6. It's Halloween Eve at the Icebox on Thursday, October 30th versus the Sioux City Musketeers. Get your tickets today at lincolnstars.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Copple Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Copple is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Copple Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at copplecars.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here we go, rolling right along into hour 2 on a Monday. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. This is Foreman and Orman on Old School, 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Jay Foreman, thank you to who for sponsoring Old School?
The Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt / Old Cheney, 168th and Maple up there in the
We got a follow-up from Brandon on YouTube, Jay.
What's up?
He's coming to see his nephew, Bryce Turner.
Dang.
Husker on the roster.
Yeah.
He says, I'll be on the road all day Friday. What you need?
Oh, I'm going to send you a list. You got his number?
We just have him on YouTube. So, Brandon, if you can text the show, 402-464-5685, we get the Hall of Fame hookup going on here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Houston. I love Houston. It's if I didn't live here, I'd probably live somewhere down in that area. Great people down there. Obviously, I was able to do some damage on the football field down there. And, I don't get to go back as much, but definitely got a lot of lifelong friends down there.
Let's get into November for Nebraska football here, Jay. USC, UCLA, bye week, Penn State, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Old Dad 34 will start with this. If Nebraska goes 3-1, are they playing in a New Year's Day or later bowl game? What do you think?
Yeah.
That'd be 9-3.
Oh, yeah. They're playing in a big-time bowl.
With a 12-team expanded playoff, more big-time bowls are there for the taking.
Oh, yeah. They'd be in a big-time bowl. Number one, because Nebraska travels well, and they would travel excellent to a big-time bowl, or New Year's Day bowl in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And to go 3-1, they would have had to have beat, a helmet sticker team.
Mm-hmm. Probably a couple of them.
Yeah, but one for sure. So that means it's either, and it would have to be on a national televised game. So you got to think USC is obviously prime time. Iowa, prime time. Obviously, Black Friday, prime time. And I just would assume Nebraska at Penn State, especially if they hadn't gotten a coach, and Nebraska at Penn State is going to be
senior day for Penn State
on somewhat national game. And if it's at 11, it'd probably be on Big Ten. If it's at 2:30,
CBS or Big Ten Network. Yeah.
UCLA is a little different because of the West Coast and UCLA. And depends on what UCLA has a bye week, right?
Yes, UCLA is on bye right now.
Right. So who knows? Who knows
Another week to wick their loons after
has
what?
Has that game time been called yet?
My guess is no.
No. Late afternoon game. So what I'm saying is Nebraska goes 3-1. They are, the brand is out there.
Here's the question though: Is Nebraska playing well enough to go 3-1 for the third consecutive 4-game stretch? Because I would say they're not playing well enough right now. Is it in them? We'll see.
They've shown. I would say they're missing because they're playing well at times. They just need to be more consistent. But styles make fights, man.
They do.
Styles make fights. I know everybody been hitting me up about Minnesota. I still will say this. I do not. Minnesota is garbage. I just can't believe it, man. They are horrible. But that's what made it. You just still got to play the game. I think potentially the style that USC plays bodes well for Nebraska. As long as Nebraska, walks and chews gum. I think now they're extremely talented. This is going to be the best offense they're going to play, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. And you got to expect their best effort. If I'm a player.
You shouldn't want anything less than their best.
You shouldn't want it. And this is what you get to play them. This is what you come here for. But what I'm saying is sometimes if you're not, when you watch, when I learned how to watch tape and study and understand it, go back verify, catch something else, respect the opponent, never fear anyone. Because what I'm going to say is that, like, if you see USC like struggle in certain areas, you better best believe that they figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, Michigan State was like horrible against pass defense. First of all, USC lit them up like a Christmas tree. They had a bye week. That was their main emphasis, right? They played a little bit better against the pass against. And you got to expect that they're going to get better, and those guys have pride, and they're not going to want to get embarrassed. And so I think USC's style and how Lincoln Riley generally has his teams bodes well for Nebraska if and when Nebraska plays like with the physicality, efficiency, low turnover, low penalties, and all that stuff. I think the tighter that you squeeze USC, the easier the game comes.
USC won't squeeze itself. It's on Nebraska to be the aggressor, bring the fight to USC. Some people were talking, Jay, about, well, it's just a bummer. This is a night game at 6:30. That's what, 4:30, 3:30 body clock time. 4:30, I think, would be body clock time for USC. Who cares?
Is it for them, you mean?
For them, for USC.
Hey,
Who
man.
cares?
Why?
You play the game when it's on the schedule. You should like the night game. It's prime time. I think to your point, Jay, where as a player, who cares? You play when you play. It just determines, what time do I wake up? When do I eat breakfast? What do I do? So sure, I get maybe there's a feeling one way or the other. But Matt Rule said it today, and I think it's just true. I mean, this is the new normal. Minnesota, maybe in 5 years, we'll talk about it as a schedule loss with where it was. But we're not to that point. Right now, it's suck it up and play football. It doesn't matter what time the other team is on with their body clock. They're coming to your place. They're a ranked team. You have like a 28-game losing streak against ranked teams, whatever the heck that is. I mean, it's insane. Who cares what USC's body clock is? You have a golden opportunity to be the aggressor, to have some good feeling from last week against Northwestern and carry it over.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Yeah, I think it's, when you play this game of football or sports, it can't be conditional. No. Sure. Is there ideal times that you like to play? Sure. I mean, to be honest with you, in the last 2 years, this team has had more night games than I ever had. Take the bowl games out of it because they're always at night.
Well, they barely had stadium lights when you were there all those years ago.
Yeah. So sure, there's ideal times you want to play, but that should not, that's so low should be low on your like weekly priority list.
Mm-hmm.
This is prime time. You ain't gonna get no better than this, man. You're not.
No.
It's 6:30 night game. You even got your little blackout thing, so it means you're going to be wearing different uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
You got everything that you would want on your recruiting trip, but that you would think. So really, there isn't any excuse. You got to show up and play.
This is a big motivation versus discipline month, I think, because Nebraska's going to ought to come out motivated against USC. Going on the road to UCLA ought to be motivated. But then, Jay, bye week. Regardless of how these two games go, if Nebraska goes 2-0, that requires its own sort of discipline. If Nebraska goes 1-1, its own sort of discipline. 0-2, special sort of discipline. November has gone off the rails for Nebraska. I think most people just on the surface would say, you know what, it's just talent. Nebraska has the best team it's had in terms of talent, and talent will cover over some of these issues.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Because 0-4 with a chance to go to a bowl in year one, 0-4 in November. And then last year, the first two opportunities slip before you get one. You go 1-3, 1-7 in November. For a coach in Matt Rule that talks about, we want to be playing our best at the end of the year. I'm not sure Nebraska's playing its best. There are areas Nebraska's improved. There are things that hasn't cleaned up. But man, if Nebraska goes 1-3 in November, I don't think 0-4 is on the table. I think this team is too good to get skunked and end up at 6-6 again. 7-5 would be a real mixed bag. I think for this season to feel like a step in the right direction to most Husker fans, and let us know, 402-464-5685. Nebraska's got to find a way to go 2-2 here in November, at the very least. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take stuff this program hasn't done in a long time. But man, I think 2-2's got to be the minimum.
Yeah, I mean, it's for sure. This is what you prepare for. This is money time. Literally. Money time. And so everybody's got to pull their weight. This is time where you got to sacrifice more. This is where you got to be more disciplined. This is where you got to sometimes turn down opportunities to hang out. This is where you got to really lock in and focus, and it's going to play out on the field. And November doesn't matter what area you play. Area you played in it's hard. It's hard football. Teams look, they have more tape on you. They know your tendencies better. Everybody's a little banged up, so that means your depth has to come in. It's a long season. You can get distracted. Nebraska's bowl eligible, probably a lot earlier than they had been. I mean, obviously, we hadn't been making a bowl till last year. So you're dealing with that. And then you got some teams that have gotten better or played better than probably people, forecasted. So you're getting, you're going to be tested. And it's more of a mental test than anything. Sure, you're going to come out, right? It's, everybody's going to get excited for they'll have a light show or whatever, the intro. USC is going to be hyped. They hadn't played in a couple of weeks. They're looking to continue along with success. And then you got to go play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a long game because, Nebraska could jump out 10-0. USC is going to fight back. USC could jump out 10-0. Nebraska got to fight back. Then you got to get down and get in that white knuckle game. Then you got to really get into execution and want to. And, that's where Nebraska's got to prepare for mentally. Mm-hmm. And 2-2, sure, that puts you at 8-4. That does show, some, obviously a big step in the right direction. And right now, where you're at 6-2, you feel like you can let it all hang out.
We'll get to our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line here in just a sec. Jay, last year, I think getting to that 6th win should have given Nebraska a chance to play more free, except here's the problem. It took until game 11. It took until Wisconsin. Nebraska didn't really have a chance to, quote unquote, play with house money, if you will, right? It was just Iowa on a short week on the road. You knew what that was going to entail, right? I think on the one hand, there's an argument to be made that this is Nebraska's house money time. Hey, guess what? We did it. We accomplished the bare minimum. Now we can go play loose. We can go play free, go play excited, all that stuff, because we know we're going to some form of postseason. I think, though, this is where it becomes even more important, though, for Nebraska to, yes, find that way to play loose, play free, play confident. But this, to me, is a Nebraska team that can't lose focus. Whether or not they did lose focus against Minnesota, just got punched in the face, didn't respond, whatever it was. To me, even while this game against USC isn't everything, in this month against November, or against Iowa at the end of the month isn't everything, the month of November won't make or break, Matt Rule's tenure. I think it's going to be really important for Nebraska to drill down and focus here. Yeah. It's not it's house money, we're good at 6-6 if that's what happens. Of course, we want to win every game, but you know what? We did what we came to do. It's time for this program to take a next step. Prove that you are built for November. Don't just be, we're good, whatever happens. It's because if 6-6 happens, if 7-5 happens, so be it. That's where Nebraska ends up. I'm not saying this is going to be the special Nebraska year where they get to 10-2, they're in playoff conversations, what have you. I think that is a 100th percentile best case scenario outcome.
Yeah.
But I think the important part for Nebraska right now is to continue to apply the right kind of pressure to its work on a day in, day out basis. You can't just go through the motions at practice. You can't just show up and, I think, roll the ball out and just play. I think this is a Nebraska team that needs someone, not on autopilot, but actually steering and engaged at the wheel, because there is more on the table for this team.
Yeah, and for relatively guys that haven't won, at the type of clip that you they hadn't won. Some of these guys haven't even been here that long. Sometimes you got to take them by the hand and I won't say forcibly show them, but, really be hands-on and show them what it takes. And and more importantly, is to keep them, like you said, focused off the things that don't mean anything, which is, a lot of people call it noise or whatever you want to call it. Because the reason why that's so important is because late in the season, you really have to be efficient on how you practice, how you prepare, how you recover, how you eat, all that stuff. That really amps up.
Yeah.
And it becomes more mental than anything. Why is it so more mental? Is because how I do things mentally gives me the confidence and obviously the focus to come to practice and be the best I can be. Mm-hmm. And if I'm out here constantly going to the computer because I'm looking at it right now, or like the phone and all this stuff, and I'm thinking about the hoopla of the game, because really, it's going to come down to leadership and being able to be hyper focused and true leadership, right? Now, I don't need you to talk, I need you to do it. And here's what's so important is because when you really think about it, when you really just sit back and just look at this game against USC, sure, it's on CBS, right? And so they'll be
NBC.
Or NBC, excuse me. They'll be here, and there'll be something downtown, right? I mean, that's fair, right? You're right. There'll be something. There'll be a ton of people coming in here.
Like Brandon coming from Houston.
Brandon
Shout
from
out.
Houston, USC fans, and there'll be national media people here. But really, that has nothing to do with you. The only thing that has to do with you is beating USC and winning your one-on-one battles and playing the best you can be for the team. Because when you go to the hotel on Friday, you're only worried about what you got to take care of. When you wake up on Saturday, you're preparing, and then the only thing that matters is the game. You're not going downtown and walking around. You're not going to any of the, if they have parties or anything like that. So really, it don't matter if they're here or not, because Saturday is going to be Saturday. If you really just really get down to that, the game becomes even easier. And then the main focus I'm thinking about is I'm preparing. I'm telling you, I love these games right here. Because, and I was fortunate enough, because when I looked I always tweet out this picture when I was in the huddle calling a play. There's Grant, Jason, Mike Ruck, and all them. Like, I knew when I went to battle with them, it was on, right? But this winner take all, this is what I like this right now. I like these games. I like it for those guys, because these are the games you remember. When they get older, my age or whatever, you ain't gonna be like, man, you remember when we beat that Houston Christian team 77-0? Nobody cares about that. You talking about, you remember when we beat USC?
It was tough.
It
took 60 minutes of football.
Right. And so-and-so did this, or we did this, or the funny thing that happened in the locker room after it, or all that stuff. That's the thing that means the most.
Shout out listener dad texted on Sutter Heyman Jewelers text line. Says, I get that fans love to try to predict whether Nebraska football can get to 3-1 or 2-2, but we'd all better hope that this team is only focused on this week. I know the past is the past, and Matt Rule's made a big deal about this, but Jay, it does seem, whether it's Nebraska football, throw Nebraska men's basketball in there, women's basketball, a couple times baseball even, Nebraska programs have tended to get ahead of themselves. Look at the end and then trip over the rock in the way. It is so important for Nebraska to start November with a win. I don't know if I'll predict them to do it yet or not. The way they played the last couple weeks, I'm not sure they will, but I know it's in them. They have to believe it's in them. They have to find their way to be at their best for 60 minutes of football on Saturday, because yes, these big picture conversations are fun to have, but they're not for the team. The goal is out there, but you got to keep it in perspective.
Yeah.
Because you don't reach the goal without 100,000,000% focus just on USC and doing everything you can in your one-on-ones to beat them.
Yeah, it's the process. So you got to understand what it takes, day in and day out. And there's no guarantee that you're going to win. But you got to really put in the work. You got to really focus and understand it's a day by day, everything's important. And, this week is slow, but the game goes fast. And, you talk about the Super Bowl week and how some people can get caught up in the hoopla, and then they end up, being asleep at the wheel halfway through the game, and you got a lot of regret. You might not never get back there. This is kind of like that. And obviously it's not to the same magnitude, but you're playing in a big game. If you really don't keep the main thing, you could get in some trouble. And sure, Nebraska struggled at times, in the past, but you can't go back and change that. Only thing you can do is make sure if there's things that you didn't do, or were told that those teams didn't do. Now, granted, this team is way more talented, better than definitely the first year Matt Rule, and even last year at a lot of key places, that you got to really be able to make sure that you're not just hearing it, that you're listening to it. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And it's a maturity. Are you hearing it, or are you listening? Are you in your feelings, or are you not? And sometimes, people get caught up in the tone, the message, and all that, or, tone and how you say it to them, and you ain't listening to the message. Because if you just listen to the message, all the other stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because the message is the message. And the message, when received and listened to, is put into action, then therefore when Nebraska wins against USC, then it's okay, have we really matured and how do we deal with success? That's really what's always been a big thing. And part of it is Nebraska's greatest attribute is the fan base, the media attention, and Nebraska hasn't won around here a while, and you're treated like you're a national champion, and you get a lot of these things. You're very fortunate to have obviously a great NIL and donations and all that to be able to have all that stuff. And so sometimes their reality is a little bit off, or perception is a little bit off. And then when you win one game, oh, we're back. And then next thing you know, you just get it. And it happens in every sport.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing for the coaches to coach and the players to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But I would tell you, we never had a choice not to do what we're supposed to do. And that's a good thing. Is that when it's all said and done, and you get mature enough to really look back, is like some of the players dang, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda. So these guys got a great chance to get over the hump against a very gettable team, and so step on the field and see what you're made of.
Scott says 8-4 at worst, 9-3 should be the expectation. Adam from Lincoln says, assuming UCLA is a win, what do you guys think is the next best chance for Nebraska? I'll just say this. This is Monday of USC week for anyone listening back. I still think 1-3 is most likely for Nebraska the way it's playing right now. That's just why I think it's important for them to find a way to get to 2-2. I think getting 3 wins in November is going to be really unprecedented for this program in the last decade or so. I'm not saying it's not in them to do. I'm just saying we haven't seen him do it. And I know, leave the past out of it, this team, blah, blah, blah. I just see 1-3 right now. And if Nebraska handles business the way that I think they can, I think 2-2 is on the table just for the month of November. But that's why I think it's going to be important to, again, do your work early, right? You have USC coming to town. That's a big benefit for you.
Yeah.
Then you get to go out against a similar-ish UCLA team that's more your style. Penn State and I were going to run the ball. Nebraska still hasn't been consistent in that aspect. Everything's on the table for Nebraska. That's the fact. We don't know how the season's going to play out. It is a fact that 10-2 is on the table. It is a fact that 6-6 is on the table. I think both of those are extremely unlikely. But if you tell me Nebraska only has 1 win or 1 loss in November, I think it's more likely that Nebraska still only wins 1 more than it only loses 1. But the important part, Jay, is that the players have the chance to decide how the season goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same schedule that you had before the season, and everybody was like, there's a chance you can be 11-1, 7-0 going in the game, all this stuff, right? And so, you control your own destiny. There's a pathway each way, and obviously, it's all predicated on how you handle your business, and it's tough. And this is the games you got to go and win. You got to win these games, and it's going to test what you're made of. And it's going to tell you a lot. It's not going to tell you everything, but it's going to tell you a lot. And I think the USC is a very winnable game. I don't think you have to play extraordinary against them. I think they're dangerous offensively. I think they're extremely athletic defensively. I think they're probably not as dangerous special teams wise as they were last year, because the branches were gone. Which he had a big return, I think, against us last year, right? And his brother is, obviously gone as well. So I think that's where we could really make some hay. But then, you got to go out there and play. I mean, these guys after the catch, these receivers after the catch are dangerous. The running backs, dangerous. The offensive line from the left guard over are pretty decent. Left tackle, suspect at best. Tight end, he's a big dude. He can make the 50-50 balls. The quarterback, RPO, he's a big kid that can throw it. He's gotten better as a passer.
Kind of Sorsby-ish.
Yeah, but he's fast. He's big, and they get enough action in the RPO. They run it probably better. They ran it good last year. I think they run it probably a little bit more effectively this year. Defensively, got 2 big defensive tackles, and they got smallish linebackers, really good safeties, so corners.
You don't have to play a perfect game to beat him, but no one's played a perfect game yet. You got to play well.
Yeah, you
That'll
got to play
never
well.
change.
You got to play well, and you got to play good enough to win all 4 quarters. Because you can't fall asleep and give these guys multiple chances or let them off the hook.
I mean, they'll do a
something.
14-0, 21-0 quarter to you.
Yeah, but you got to battle against them.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley will call himself into a tight game, and then you got to take advantage.
We'll talk more about this game and really the college football coaching carousel. Brian Kelly, gone. We'll talk about it when we get back.
I got a story about him.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Celebrate Halloween with the Lincoln Stars a day early on Thursday, October 30th, as the Stars host the Sioux City Musketeers. Wear your favorite costume to the game, as there's a contest for both adults and kids with prizes for both age levels. Also, it's a Chuck-a-Puck night, and PBR beers are 2 for $6. It's Halloween Eve at the Icebox on Thursday, October 30th versus the Sioux City Musketeers. Get your tickets today at LincolnStars.com.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Bonsall Pool and Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool and Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here we are, it's old school with Foreman and Orman. I am the Orman half of the equation. He is the Foreman half. This segment brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Jay, did you and your family ever break any windows at grandma's house or uncle's house?
Nah, because if we did, we got our butt broke.
I did.
I've seen
I
some.
did.
You did?
I did. I have to admit it. I broke one outdoor window at my grandma and grandpa's place in Fremont. And at that same house, I think they had like a 7-foot basketball hoop down there. And I think I went through 3, maybe 4 light bulbs.
Dang.
Yeah. There's also one over the ping pong table I definitely got to.
Oh, you just cracked. You just like
No spatial awareness.
Yeah. You watch out, here he comes. You like a bull in a bull in
China shop.
China shop.
Absolutely. Anyways, if you're like me and you've broken a window, need a replacement, Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They offer free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more info, 402-430-3852, or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Jay, you teased it going to break. Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
He, of the fakest Southern accent ever to fake Southern accent, is officially out. 34-14, preseason top 10 team, out of the rankings. Worst offense in the SEC by a number of metrics, including rushing yards. Finally scored 25 points against an FBS team. They garbage time touchdown against Texas A&M. He's out at LSU. Another massive job open in the college football landscape.
Yeah, first of all, I think Brian Kelly is a good coach. I think Brian Kelly needs a really good offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. I think he puts a lot of pressure on his assistants to do well. He's definitely a CEO. But I think at the right place, he does really well. I think, and here's the deal. You can't fault Brian Kelly for leaving Notre Dame at the time he did, because he felt like he hit the ceiling at Notre Dame because there was no transfer portal, no NIL then. And if there was, it was like in the, beginning stages. And you got to think him and Lincoln Riley benefited off of Mel Tucker. So when he's on a recruiting trip and his agent calls and says, man, I can get you pretty much $100 million from LSU, boy, I'm out. You got to. And you get the access, in his mind, to an uptick in athletes.
That's the exact reason he left Notre Dame. He told you.
Right. And you can't fault him for it. And now the problem is, and they say all money and good money. I think Brian Kelly would have got that contract. Well, who knows if he would have got it the next year, but it wasn't a good fit from the get-go. I mean, you start out number one with the accent. He's from like Massachusetts or somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
coached in the Midwest his entire career.
Right. And so it's not there. Number two, he had lost his like zest for recruiting when he was at Cincinnati.
Dan Mullen.
And I know this for a fact. When he was at Cincinnati, my oldest uncle went to Cincinnati. He's the only one. I went to Nebraska, but everybody else went to Miami. He went to Cincinnati because he was an offensive lineman. Back then, Cincinnati was one of the few kind of Midwest schools that recruited African-American offensive linemen. That's why he went to Cincinnati. But he is knee deep in Cincinnati as far as like alumni and stuff, along with Troy Evans, who'd been on the show. He was an excellent recruiter then.
Had to be.
Right, had to be. And a developer. Things change. Now,
do things change or do people change? Because he went to where it should have been easier to recruit
people
talent.
change.
And he thought it was
Notre
just going to
Dame's
happen
a little
naturally.
bit different because you roll up with Notre Dame, you getting, you're at the top of the list, right? And he did well. I think he actually, now he started off a little rough at Notre Dame, and then he had the issue with the unfortunate accident. But I think he finally had a about face. He's like, dude, you can't be like that at Notre Dame. Right? And I think they started to compete in bigger games or in the college football playoffs and big bowl games against Clemson and all them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, okay, we see him coming. And he goes to LSU. It's not a good fit. You fire the longtime strength coach that's been there 20-some years.
Well, and then he takes that personal, puts your face on tackling dummies this week.
Well, here's the deal. The way you fired him, the way you didn't even give him a complimentary interview. Now, I will say this. Every coach that comes to a university generally brings their own strength coach. But I do think there's exceptions at places like LSU, at times at Nebraska, or like places like that. I do think there's especially for him.
Mm-hmm.
He had been there for 21 years. I don't know how many first-round picks he didn't draft.
Well, he won the national title with all three coaches.
Exactly. But I'm just talking about the amount of players that he's developed, his eye for talent, his relationships. Okay. There's a way to do. I always think there's a way to do both. Bring your guy or bring him in somehow or something. Make him the special assistant to the head. There's a way to just essentially send him an email saying, I'm bringing him.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of respect. So
well, it's kind of the same thing the Mavs did with their longtime guy.
Yeah. But
same thing.
But with this guy here, you didn't really give him a true conversation, right? Now that just doesn't stop with him because he has 21 years of relationships, of high school coaches, of former players, of people in,
probably
involved,
like state representatives in the government
community.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
Maybe the guy.
Listen, if you want to come, I'm going to tell you, I had a hard learning lesson with this, almost with Rusty Jones. The weight coach is arguably your most important hire because he's around the players all the time. He's essentially like the head. I mean, right? I was in Buffalo. I'll tell you, to be honest, real quick. I went out, kicked it too much, and I had to work out on Mondays. I was inactive. I was only inactive for the first 4 or 5 games, 6 games. One of my friends came in, kicked it. Oh, I'm not going to go lift early. I'm going to do it. And you had to do it by 2. I did it after meetings. When I tell you, he brought me in the office. He went off on me, was in my face, and he's like, you don't think, he's like, I could get you cut right now. He's like, I'm not going to, because I never really messed up. That was it. Right? But he had to put me in check. So when you have a guy that has that much respect as a weight coach, if I'm trying to come from, say, for instance, I'm coming from Minnesota or Nebraska to LSU, that's the guy I'm hiring first. Why? It's smoothing it. He's going to teach me the way, the LSU way. Mm-hmm. It never was it. He got off on the wrong foot. Number 2, none of his assistants, he only asked 2 of them. None of them, they didn't come. Then then I would have hired all kind of guys that knew the law, the lay of the land. Mm-hmm. He didn't. He asked for more NIL money. They ended up not being good. This is supposed to be a good year, and it's hard because I think when you're going against Kirby Smart and you're going against at times Nick Saban, tough.
But I think to your point, you've brought this up when it comes to other programs before, including one near and dear to our hearts, the fabric. Mm-hmm. You don't have to use it the whole way, but you can't tear it out.
No,
you got to try to blend it.
It never works. It never works.
Name an example where it's worked. I don't think you can.
It never worked.
I don't think you can.
It never worked. Eventually, it just doesn't work. And then they go back to that. So I'm trying to make it so you don't go back to that. So then, therefore, I have all the, I guess, quote unquote, excuses and can do that. Why you point the finger why it didn't work. I still think he's a good coach. I think he's a top 16 coach, probably higher. And he's not 16. I think LSU, they got a short day. Listen, once they got their crosshairs on you, you got to go. I will say this about the AD though. He hired Jimbo Fisher, and you hired him. You 0 for 2 with big money. I don't know if I'm hiring you if I'm the president.
Talk about stealing.
Right. I got.
He's cost his universities like $120 million.
Right. So then now we got to get somebody on your checks and balances. This next hire for him's got to be a home run hitter or home run for him. Little quick story about Brian Kelly.
Okay.
Matt LaFleur and Robert Saleh were GAs, graduate assistants, grunt work. Really, it's no different than being like a defensive assistant in the NFL. That's where Greg Roman and Jed Fish were in Houston. They were great. I always saw how hard they worked. I was always gracious for them. You'd call them at 10 o'clock at night. I need this by tomorrow, and they would do it. So he worked for Brian. They both were for Brian Kelly. Both of these dudes
at Central Michigan.
At Central Michigan. One's a head coach, or two former NFL head coaches. One's one of the top coordinators, and LaFleur is one of the top coaches in the NFL now. GA. So they think they're going to pretty much a Christmas party, right? And I know how they would probably think. They're just trying to probably get some free meals. They're living together.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even have they have a table with no chairs. I mean, they really bumming it, right? And Robert Saleh has the story that he left a financial job to go coach.
Yeah.
So they're really ramen noodling it up, thinking they're going to get a good meal. Brian Kelly has these dudes shovel his driveway as the head. First of all, you're the head coach. You have these guys shovel your driveway and essentially park cars, and then essentially are valets. If you can't be more disrespectful to like lower end employees, or like they're not even employees, they're a part of your staff.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they're telling you about it, it lets you know that you rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So now, is he like that now? I'm sure he's learned from it, but
some of the stories out of LSU are not far off.
Oh, no.
I mean, here, let's use this analogy. Does a tiger change its stripes?
He was I don't.
Now, I get it. You can get like the recruiting story, right? That's a little informative because I'm sure he was a grinder.
Yeah.
You have to be to get to where he was at some level.
Leveled up to CEO now. And you're the
Right.
head coach, you got to be a CEO. So
and at some point, like, that's natural. But there are ways that you can change what you do for the job without changing how you go about it.
Well, like the big number 91, I don't know how to pronounce his name, defensive tackle, played in the NFL for a while. I remember the whole thing with his dad and them. They do the haka and all that stuff when they won national championship. So, look, not too far removed now. You don't want none of them dudes around?
Tells me more about you.
I mean, straight up. I mean, you go from Booger McFarland to Spears to all those guys. They ain't feel welcome. And when they were, it was kind of like, when are you leaving?
Right.
So when it doesn't work, and then when you have an embarrassment like they were against Texas A&M, it can really, really warp speed. Here's where it's unfair. After beating Clemson and then winning, they were a top 5 team.
Yeah.
So you talk about James Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
right? 15 days prior, he was in Oregon on the set, gone. Brian Kelly a few weeks ago, I think he beat a ranked team, and they were mad at him about the offensive output. And one of them, remember the reporter asked him about running the ball or third down or something like that in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And they were dominant against Clemson in the second half. Now Clemson isn't as good as people thought.
But LSU might have sent them on that path.
Sure. But it just imagine how things can change.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if he had goodwill from media, because he got after them too.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had goodwill with the fans and the former players, I can't guarantee it. I'd like to think he still is a coach at LSU.
Same with James Franklin, won one of those 2 games. Maybe
Yeah,
you're still there.
James Franklin is a little bit different, but I just think for Brian Kelly, especially down there,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough, man. He'll be all right though, because he got some Chizaks coming. They trying to figure out how to get.
They're still negotiating the settlement, which I think is hilarious, and that's a whole nother topic. Well, let's throw out some names for LSU when we get back to wrap up hour 2.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Celebrate Halloween with the Lincoln Stars a day early on Thursday, October 30th, as the Stars host the Sioux City Musketeers. Wear your favorite costume to the game, as there's a contest for both adults and kids with prizes for both age levels. Also, it's a Chuck-a-Puck night, and PBR beers are 2 for $6. It's Halloween Eve at the Icebox on Thursday, October 30th versus the Sioux City Musketeers. Get your tickets today at LincolnStars.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Copple Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Copple is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Copple Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at copplecars.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Bonsall Pool and Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool and Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment of hour 2 of Old School. I'll hand things over to Harrison Arns on the board so I can get down to Nebraska men's basketball scrimmage against Midland. But Jay will be around. Plenty more football talk on the way, I'm sure. This segment brought to you by Love Volleyball at Nebraska. Just around the corner, second season for the Love Volleyball franchise in Nebraska. They did rebrand. Go to lovb.com today for more information. All right, Jay.
Yeah, let me hear the names.
Names for LSU. It's an open-ended question. Who do you think? Is this a job that needs a big name that can land a big name, or is this a job where they can get a good, solid, maybe not under the radar, but not big splash hire coach and trust that the job will elevate the coach?
I think they can get whoever they want. I think if they get the big name, it's got to be somebody that's invested still in coaching. I think you're going to hear Lane Kiffin. I think LSU is the best job out there, and I think it's the easiest job that becomes extremely hard if you make it hard.
Yeah.
I say that a lot about big time jobs. I think they're easy
that in
jobs.
Texas?
Yeah, but Texas has Sark, but
right
now, I don't know why Sark would leave. It's like, and I do know why guys would leave, and I'll go over it with Harrison of the difference of NFL and not what makes it appealing, because NFL's kind of like more college. I think Lane will be there. I think maybe Vandy's coach, James Franklin, will be in a mix at any of these jobs. I think LSU is more fit in who respects LSU's traditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's easy if you do it, because here's why I think LSU is extremely easy. Not easy. Coaching is not easy.
Yeah.
I'd be disrespecting coaching.
Where it's simple.
It's simple. You have enough guys that are in the airwaves that you can really dodge some speed bumps. You're skiing and you could be real smooth.
Mm-hmm.
The recruiting is there. I mean,
you do minimal work, not no work,
yeah.
But
no, you still got. You got competition, but you still got you. And then I expect whoever comes in there is going to have some sort of guaranteed uptick in NIL money or whatever
Mm-hmm.
how they process goes.
Yeah,
and you got talent on that roster. You're not getting off the bus fearing anything.
No,
as far as and I think it's got to be probably a very detailed and tough-minded offensive coach that can hire guys and then develop coaches underneath them.
I'm going to be really curious to see, because if you look at LSU's hires over the years, you get Les Miles, who by Oklahoma State standards was incredible. He was only there for 4 years. Took him from 4-7 to 9-4 in 2 years. So it took him to a Cotton Bowl, which haven't seen Oklahoma State was something, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't nothing. That to me, the Les Miles template would be Willie Fritz, maybe.
I think they want a younger coach.
So Summerall from Tulane potentially.
Yeah.
If Lane's not available or Lane really wants Florida, something like that.
Vandy's coach.
Would Lincoln Riley jump this time?
Why not?
I don't know. If the offense is what you're talking about, they've gotten tougher, on the lines, just an option. Because there's not a Saban out there. Urban Meyer's not coming out of retirement. I'm not sold on Franklin for them.
No,
I can see it, but I'm not. I think that's down the list. So
he's done well in the S. I think it's going to be interesting to see, because I think LSU will set the dominoes, whereas before I thought Penn State set the domino.
Yeah,
I think it's going to take a unique person to go to Florida.
So who's the next domino after LSU? Is it Florida? Is it Penn State?
Well, it depends on what Lane does or doesn't do.
In a vacuum, Who's the next domino, Florida or Penn State?
Florida.
Money's comparable. Talent's
I think
probably
Penn
better
State
in Florida.
already has a couple offers out there. It kind of really has their. I think they got their eye on their guy. I think Florida gets tricky because if Lane turns it down,
ooh, maybe they hire Mike Norvell off the street. That's not official yet. We'll go to break. Jay Foreman, Harrison Arns next. I'm headed down to Hoops. Talk to you later.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Bonsall Pool and Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool and Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through November 2nd, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce bacon-wrapped sirloins for $5.99 each, and fresh-cut chicken wings $2.99 per pound. Plus, on Friday and Saturday, enjoy a 2-day sale of USDA Choice Rump Roast $5.88 per pound and Farmland Bacon $4.99 per 16-ounce package. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? It's Old School. Jay Foreman, Harrison on the ones and twos. Austin's walking his way down to PPA. Check out Nebraska against Midland. Should be a good showing for Nebraska, and it's always good to, give back and play local teams and see how far they've come, and then obviously where you need to go. But we are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Greens and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt, 168th in Maple up there in the O. Harrison, we were just talking about the coaching carousel in college.
Yeah, another one.
A lot of things changed since I saw you yesterday morning.
A lot of things did change. I'll tell you what, Kelly didn't win any championships, unfortunately.
No, he did not. I think, me and Austin, we ended like what names will kind of be out there. And obviously it's the usual suspects, and every job opening, Urban Meyer is going to be up for it, and so forth and so on. Everybody,
Kiffin, I'm sure people are throwing big numbers at him.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a couple options. And obviously, our coach as well, and other successful coaches, will be up for jobs. And so I think this is the way of the world right now. I think the days of waiting for teams to win is over.
Which surprises me that now's the time. Now when we have to have all this extra money to pay all the players, it's also the time that we're impatient.
Yeah, we're going to give you huge contracts. And, the athletic director for LSU his track record isn't very good. He hired Jimbo Fisher, and then obviously Brian Kelly, and both of them hadn't worked out. But in the present, and I think when things don't work out, the biggest thing is you hired the guys. Both of them were logical hires at the time, maybe not the contracts, but you paid for, the market price for it, whether you priced yourself out of the market or paid what the going rate was. For schools like LSU, Penn State, and Florida, and obviously I think there's other great jobs out there. I think Oklahoma State is going to be a really good job.
Arkansas is always a nice one too.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
under the radar.
Under
the radar.
That's kind of one of those quiet ones that I feel like could really pop.
Especially with Oklahoma State in the Big 12 without a true dominant team as of right now.
Actually, we got off YouTube. Hot Dangers. I actually agree. Kurt Signetti said everyone's expectations way too high.
He did, and then
everyone's been looking around like
rightfully so. At times, I mean, don't be surprised if health related and opportunity related that Colorado is going to have another coach. I wouldn't be surprised with that. Colorado State is obviously they're looking for a coach. They fired their coach, and so there's some good young coaches out there that are going to get some opportunities, and some guys that are going to get other opportunities. I think Brian Kelly's still a good coach. I think every time that you go through this process is probably the first time he's been actually fired. I think so. I think it's going to he's got to work through that. James Franklin as well, and so when you get some blue blood schools, recent national championship schools, and I'm talking about LSU.
Would Florida State ever join that group? You think?
I don't think they have the money to.
Okay.
I think they're working to get the money.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like it's bad there.
Well, when you listen to or read the AD statement, they took some accountability for it, but it didn't put them totally off the hook in the offseason. It's all going to be dependent on how they finish. Look, man, I think things changed. Maybe it's Kirk Signetti. I think that's part of it. I think the bigger part of it is with the transfer portal. Everybody looks at what everybody else is doing versus what they're doing or not doing. And it's the way of the world in the coaching business. I think forever coaches have been able to kind of leave town whenever they wanted after recruiting signing day. Players can leave town whenever the portal's open and be in the portal probably during the season. And this is what you signed up for when you kind of opened up the portal, NIL, and pay for play and no structure. And so, LSU is part of it. They have a short leash on guys. I think LSU, also, listen, when you're at blue blood schools, they are very unique. There is ways that you have to operate. I don't think it was a good fit for Brian Kelly. I think it was a fit for his pocketbook. I think he's a really good coach.
Notre Dame tried to tell him.
They did, but I can't fault him for it, though.
I was never high on it. And it was before that TikTok video or whatever, that recruiting video they had. It just, I didn't like the fit. It felt like it
was too forced.
Yeah.
You tried to have a Louisiana accent. And he tried to kind of come in and do it his way. It just never works out that way. Works out well long term.
Sark too. I know Texas just got a big win, but it was Mississippi State, and he was kind of openly flirting with it. He didn't say I'm leaving.
Well, he just kind of went at the report, and about him going to the NFL. And
I mean, I wouldn't blame him.
You would? You wouldn't?
No.
Why would you leave Texas?
All that, I mean, the amount of pressure with those boosters and Manning. Probably making big time money, but that's so much. The NFL job looks better and better every day.
Does it?
When I'm looking at cross college, yeah.
Really?
You think just hoping to get fired and have that kickback time.
You want to know what the biggest difference in the NFL and colleges?
Yeah, let's hear it. Maybe I'm wrong on this.
No, I'm just telling you. Here's the dynamic. Here's why it's hard. Like people perceive it as hard. When you go to the NFL, I don't know. Just say you're making $8 million.
Yeah.
At least in Minneapolis, there's 50 guys making $8 million plus $1 million. There's billionaires up there. You just the owner, number one, is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ain't running nothing. The owner is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're in a big city.
You're getting less control.
Yeah, but you're in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
There's other sports going on. There's other things. A lot of times, colleges, you're the highest state employee by a long shot. You control everything. And so that's so then sometimes that control can cloud your judgment a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you with Brian Kelly, you got to look at it. Okay, there's like things that you need in LSU. Number one, okay, okay. You need the alumni. That means the boosters on your side. Okay, because they write the checks.
Mm-hmm.
You need the former players on your side. You need the fans on your side.
Mm-hmm.
You need the media on your side. Hey, Harrison.
He said
0 for 4. 0 for 4. Okay. And that doesn't mean he's a bad dude.
Was it ever 3 for 4?
I don't know. Originally, he was on the uptick. But he was tolerated because they were winning.
Mm-hmm.
And in his first year was the best year. Now, granted, you got Daniels in the transfer portal when essentially Arizona State shunned him.
Yeah.
And then you got the Heisman winner. You had great receivers. And some of it is probably personal, which I don't think is right, because I think that needs to be like pushed to the side. But then I think some of it was circumstantial, and then obviously it wasn't really the best fit. When you have guys that are like Jacob Hester and all those guys are like, hey, we ain't even like, we know we can go there, but we don't feel welcome.
Right.
And then they're on like TV and radio. And then the guys that like that have been, won national championships, and they're just, it doesn't work down there. It's like if I went down there, look, I'm not from LSU, but I could tell you, I'm going to surround myself with people from like Louisiana, and they're going to help me figure it out. And then he fired the weight coach. Texas A&M outscored you like 61 to like 3 in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of really snowballed and then turned into an avalanche. And then remember when he had the press conference and he's like, you fans and you media are spoiled. That's it. Because they're waiting for you to fail or to lose. And, once you kind of get out of the college football playoffs with 12 teams, they feel like LSU should be a shoo-in. Kind of circumstantial, man. It's so, because I do think he's a good coach. I think he probably morphed into a CEO. I think he's a coach he's really, really good when his coordinators are good. Really. I think Marcus Freeman was his coordinator.
Yep.
And then his other coordinator, remember he had Tommy Reese when he was the top guy, and he had really good assistants. He's good to go. maybe the assistants weren't the best, and kind of was a little bit of desperation because he went for NIL money. And here's what happens when you really go, and because remember he went and he got Jamari Butler and then 2 other defensive ends out of the portal. He had Perkins, who's a really, really good player. He had some good DBs who came from different schools. Baker, the new defensive coordinator, who's I think is a rising guy, but you don't have the continuity there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just kind of getting there, and you're just like a bunch of it's like an AAU team, and then everybody's trying to figure out and get theirs, but you're not getting what you need, which is the dubs. It can kind of spiral out. We saw it last year. Remember when Florida State had the quote unquote the number 1 transfer portal class, and they went over to Ireland and Georgia Tech walked the dog on them.
And then Boston College the next week, and it was kind of over.
Then it was over after that, and so that's where it can kind of spiral for a coach like that. It's unfortunate. I think people, fans included, and you see it all the time. You see it actually in the NFL where, and this is Raheem Morris's probably maybe his. I wouldn't say his fault, but it's part of why he's being asked that is as soon as a player or a unit does, or a team doesn't, you fire the coach. I'm never big on fire the coaches because you're just not firing the coach. You're really you're pretty much obliterating the team and the staff. Now, granted, some coaches can earn that thought, right? But then you switch to the NFL, right? The Falcons, who were obviously in the hunt to win the AFC South, or maybe potentially get a wild card, because I think Tampa Bay is going to start running away with it. They get trounced by Miami. If you watch the highlights and you read some of the tea leaves, they said the game plan was simple and was really easy. Miami looked like you got Tua up there with sunglasses on. I mean, it was I felt like he was in Bama. Well, the first thing they asked Raheem Morris is asked if you're going to make staff changes. Why? Because after a previous loss, he fired the wide receiver coach. Now, you didn't fire the coordinator that gave away draft picks, personal information, but you fired the wide receiver coach. So now people are expecting you to do that after every bad loss. And it's easy to do that when, all you got to do is put send, fire Harrison, and you got some fake picture up there. And LSU's fan base was pissed. They are pissed. Florida's fan base was pissed. And so now you're stretching these universities thin financially by these buyouts, but then also the staff changes, and you gotta pay for them too. It's tough, man. It
just blows my mind how much money there always is in it. Because these coaches' contracts just keep going up and up and up. It is one of the best hustles.
Once you to hit that big one, all you gotta do is make sure you just don't mess it up.
It's what you want to do. Mess it up, and then you go hang out. Once you get the big contract,
you messing it up is we get fired for cause.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah. Play the game.
Yeah. You just check the boxes.
What's the limit after the House versus NCAA? 22 mil for
what?
For NIL that you could get from
college.
Yeah.
You don't
just
mess
find
that up.
Buyouts 50 mil, no problem.
Yeah, just play the game within the game.
So we made all these numbers.
But the guys that really get it, they do both. They win.
I'm okay with paying Saban that type of money.
It's a tough business, man. It now, as much as we're talking about it right now, coaching is not as easy as we're saying. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of sacrifice. You are actually, the one thing I learned, or I guess understand about coaching, I've been fortunate, I've obviously spent a lot of time around Bud Grant and Jerry Burns and those guys, and obviously Coach Osborne, is that a lot of times you got to make decisions for everybody else besides yourself. Yourself last. Meaning, say for instance, you probably got to make sure that you keep your circle pretty tight so you don't get exposed. Because if I get fired, as if I was a head coach, everybody's fired. Yep. Everybody's getting fired. I got to make sure that I hire good assistant coaches. Because if they don't do their job, I get fired. Sure, I can fire one of them. But ultimately, if I fire an assistant coach, now I got to go hire somebody else. You know what I mean? So it's a tough day, man. I think they pulled the plug a lot earlier because I think everybody's trying to get their place in the pecking order.
Yeah.
I'm sure Penn State they were easily number one, where LSU is now number one. And the supply of those type of head coaches that can go in those places probably aren't there. And I think a lot of times that you fire, especially Brian Kelly, a winning coach, James Franklin, a super winning coach.
Mm-hmm.
then it's, are you willing to go get an upstart Jay Foreman that's at, Youngstown State?
Yeah, Kennesaw State, wherever.
Right. Yeah, I'm a great coach. Maybe 10 years from now, you'll be like, man, you could have hired him.
There's going to be some schools that do. I mean, again, going back to Cignetti.
Listen, Kirk Cignetti been saying the same thing since he was at Elon.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean people won't stop chasing it, though.
But here's the thing. He's been that dude since then.
Yeah.
He's always been him. But people was like, oh, you're at Elon. I ain't going to hire you.
Mm-hmm.
It took Indiana, who thought they were going to hire a guy on the cheap from James Madison, and they just it's like when the Patriots drafted Tom Brady in the 6th round.
Yeah, blinking an eye, now they're paying him $11 million a year.
They get the credit for drafting Tom Brady in the 6th round.
Yeah.
You picked him with a supplemental pick in the 6th round. That means you passed on him for 5 rounds. So you're trying to tell me that you all along you thought you were going to get the greatest quarterback of all time in the 6th round? Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern's full. So look, it is what it is, and
what's the second best job here? I mean, these jobs are insane.
Okay, let's rank.
LSU, number 1, right?
LSU 1, Penn State 2,
Florida
3.
Then you got Oklahoma State, Arkansas, UCLA on the board. Are we missing one?
Well, you got Colorado State. You got Oregon State
and Oregon State.
Stanford.
Stanford's not a bad gig either.
Well, because they're going to have Frank Reich's only out there for a year.
Uh-huh.
So Stanford's on there.
Would Arkansas be the next one on the list?
I would say Oklahoma State only because of T-Bone Pickens. Was it T-Bone Pickens?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in the Big 12. Arkansas, I think, is a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I just think, well, depending on what Arkansas's expectations are. Are they kind of, because
I don't think they're willing to be patient is the problem, because they had Brett not too long ago as well.
Right, but what's your expectations? What is your checkpoints of a successful coach?
I would want to go to Oklahoma State if I was coach.
Right.
You got good resources, and you're going to get a little bit more wiggle room, and you're in the Big 12.
Don't sleep and don't think that Michigan State won't be open.
Yeah, that's another one.
Right. So you got all the right. He just got there.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't even got past the paying interest on his crib yet. The first 2 years. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even got to knock down the principal yet. He's still paying the interest payment. You know what I'm saying? Heck, he probably still moving from Oregon.
He probably have one more trailer left.
So Michigan State's open, right? And it's not just the jobs that are open. It's what the jobs that come open if they pluck another coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, Michigan State's not open.
Well, does Illinois open up? Like, some people are going to be throwing big bags at Brett.
Wisconsin. There's all the what is. Okay, Florida State.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, North Carolina. Not doubt. I mean, I think Belichick's going to run. I think Belichick is not going to go out like that.
Not his pride won't allow it.
All right. I think he's gonna figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna lock in the film room, and I think he's gonna put forth a better team next year. And there's other schools that you can't even think of that might lose a coach to go somewhere else or something like that. You just never know. I mean, Kentucky, they've been talking about getting rid of Stoops for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, Dabo Sweeney and the Tigers, I don't think they will, but after saying you're going to go 0-16 after a really brutal start, I don't know what the temperature is up there.
You can't.
They won't. Yeah. They won't. I mean,
you might ask him to do something.
But I said the same thing about James Franklin. I was like, he just made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And then they fired him.
So those are my top 3 jobs. I would probably say LSU and Penn State are way above Florida. I just think Florida is just. I just think they just got. First of all, their whole like NIL thing when they were like giving fake like all that stuff is just like all right, coaching is hard.
A little bit like a fun house down there sometimes.
But this is all right. You're coaching, and sure, it's great. You got a great recruiting base. And say you're at Kentucky, like Mark Stoops, and Florida wants to offer you a whole bunch of money. Like, are my players going to get paid? You know what I mean? Do you really want to up? I'd rather stay at Kentucky. So, I mean, but I think Penn State and LSU is going to be interesting to see who. I would like to think those type of schools. You ever play spades?
Yeah.
You have?
Is that like pitch?
No, it's a card game.
Yeah, pitch is
yeah. I played pitch before, but
Is it similar?
It's like spade and hearts, but you just count how many books you have. So if me and you are partners, we know based on the cards we get how many books we can win. And what you usually say, I had to learn. And if you ever come to the barbecue and you come out there to DC, you better be serious on the spades table. What you say, hey, you say, Harrison, you'll say, Jay, how many books you got? I was like, I got 4 with a possible 2. Schools like LSU and Penn State, they better have 2 in the basket with a possible 2. Meaning you don't fire these 2 coaches if you don't have a good idea of like 4 guys that you would be satisfied with taking the job.
Well, I think every AD's got a filing cabinet of like, these are the guys that got next on the list.
Yeah, because they got a search firm and an agent.
Yeah.
I need guys that I know that I've already talked to. Hypothetically, they'd be in there.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how many of these guys that they had conversations with. Where it's like, nah, we got him, and then he wakes up and he's like, oh, he's at LSU.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Oh, he's at Penn
when
State.
Lincoln Riley, they asked him, are you taking the LSU job? He's like, I am not taking the LSU job. Well, he left. He was at USC the next morning with the Oklahoma Air Force Ones on. Hey, they said, we ain't got your size yet. Don't worry, I got this. Don't worry about it. It look good. Just change the lighting on your cameras a little bit. They look like the same. So, anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. Come back. We'll dive into more Nebraska, USC, maybe some coaching carousels. Jay Foreman, my man Harrison. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through November 2nd, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce bacon wrapped sirloins for $5.99 each. And fresh cut chicken wings, $2.99 per pound. Plus, on Friday and Saturday, enjoy a 2-day sale of USDA Choice Rump Roast, $5.88 per pound, and Farmland Bacon, $4.99 per 16-ounce package. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Score big with rebates up to $2,000 on the Kawasaki Nav, Kawasaki's first ever fully electric personal transportation vehicle designed for cruising the good life. Be the first to nav your neighborhood. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location, where they can't wait to get you set up for football season. Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey guys, it's Monet here with The Night Before. What could be better than watching football with up to 20 beautiful ladies? The Night Before now has a 12-foot video wall for you to watch all the big games. Just like the players, you need to practice though. Repeat after me. Hey honey, I'm going to watch the game with the guys. I'll be home as soon as the game is over. It's all in the details. Come watch a game with The Night Before. Mention this ad and your first beer is $1.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm, safe, and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting overcast skies, the light breeze, an afternoon high around 57. Tonight, showers likely, with the low around 46. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers. The west spotty skies will be windy, the high near 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay Foreman, Harrison on the ones and twos. About 20 minutes before the Huskers tip off against Midland. I don't know Midland's mascot, but it's the Huskers.
The Viking.
Midland Vikings.
Right?
Yeah.
I know it's like red hair. Looks like a Viking. I should double check.
Yeah,
I don't want to
Vikings.
disrespect Midland.
Yeah.
James Kaiser, Cedar Catholic legend. He went
That's
to
the coach?
Midland.
Oh.
No, he's just a good basketball player. He played there for a bit. So
We got some good text here where Pecan Pie says Stanford's entrance requirements are absurd, even for athletes. And they also said that they're not going to change it, even with $50 million donation from one of their alum.
And it's the Warriors. Apologies to me.
No, the Warriors.
All right.
Yeah. Unknown texter 8253 says Jonathan Smith has a $38 million buyout. You think Michigan State lets him go after 2 years?
A rational person would say no, but this is what I'm saying with money. It's insane how some of these things, they still get fired. So I would say no, but my jaw's not going to hit the floor if they do.
I would not be surprised. They got a lot of money.
Just takes one guy that doesn't like you who has a lot of money sometimes.
Yeah, and if they have somebody that's willing to go.
Yeah.
And he's going out to the back door, the new guy's coming to the front.
Mm-hmm.
We have a text. What blanket says T-Bone Pickens has passed? Yes, I do know that. And his family is not committed to athletic spending.
Oh, I didn't know that part. His family's not committed to it?
He is. His family ain't committed to nothing. He left money for them, at least according to Kenyatta. Okie State feasted on recruiting second-tier Texas kids who weren't getting offers from Texas and OU. Now those guys are going to Texas Tech and SMU. Okie State collapsed because they are not positioned for modern football. Okie State is one of the worst Power 4 jobs. I push back on that because I could tell you right now, Kenyatta Wright is a former teammate of mine. He's their GM. He had told me that T-Bone Pickens had left them a little care package. And part of the reason why they got rid of Gundy because he was reluctant, which you are right, Wet Blanket, to recruit, NIL, so forth and so on. If you remember last year, I think they made him take a pay cut that would go in assistance and all that. Now they end up not being good, but I think those decisions that he made at that time made some of the recruits that they were talking about, second tier kids and stuff, go to other places, SMU and TCU. Don't forget about them, and Texas Tech. When you make those decisions as a head coach, which, like I said, you weren't here. I was talking to Austin. The biggest difference of the pros in colleges is that a guy like Mike Gundy is the highest paid state employee. He's in a small town in Stillwater. You are king. You run the whole place. And he was there for a while. He was a great player, and obviously he was a great coach too. Sometimes that power can cloud your judgment, and you make those decisions that you think you don't have to make at the time because how or could they fire me? They had reasons to fire him for cause. He put that underneath the rug, took a paycheck, pay cut, so forth and so on. I think Oklahoma State, with the right support, is a sneaky good job because of the recruiting base, the proximity to North Texas and that type of football. Dallas is very close. You can recruit other surrounding states, and if done right in the next 3 or 4 years, I think you need a young offensive-minded coach that can attract talent, a defensive coordinator that matches him, and the Big 12 is ripe for the picking. Oklahoma is gone. Texas is gone. That's where Mike Gundy missed it. When Oklahoma and Texas were leaving, he stayed pat. He should have probably tried to replicate them. He might have, but then also I think it might have ran its course. So we should see.
I think UCLA's got theirs figured out. I mean, theirs is kind of a layup, right? You got that. Well, maybe not.
They notoriously don't have the type of financial support.
That's what I'm saying.
And the support just for football.
Give me the backup QB.
Yeah.
The boys like him, and they seem like they're winning some impressive ball games.
I think it's impressive what they're doing now.
Yeah.
I think Newhouse's son is a young and upcoming coordinator. Obviously, they got the brakes beat off them against Indiana. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we play them come out of the bye week, how they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get the upset and you got the uptick, and then now here's your first embarrassing loss. How does this staff that's essentially coaching to survive, meaning hoping the new coach keeps if I'm an assistant coach, keeps me around. And then how do they play, a Nebraska team that's going to come in there and got a lot to play for, right? Coming off a bye week, because as this last month of the season, this is when that portal that vortex starts to really open up and become appealing. Also, I'm going to say this about.
I didn't realize there's going to be so many players.
It's every year.
But this year, with all the coaches that are going to be hired and the recruits are going to come and go with a lot of these coaches, it's going to be a wild year for the players too.
Yeah, and that's why they're trying to get it down to one.
Right.
Yeah, but here's the thing about this movement, and a lot of assistant coaches are still left behind, players as well. And this is where I think it helps. UCLA is a good, look in, is that, if I'm a head coach taking over, say I'm an intern, I'm working twice as hard. And you saw this with Mickey, and that's where I think that when Matt Rule came in, I felt like the locker room was in the program was in a better place versus coming after, 3-19, right? Mickey came in and the staff, and Bill Bush was on that staff, and the guys that left over, they Mickey demanded those guys, and they were willing to work hard.
They beat Iowa that year, right?
Yeah, beat Iowa,
Mhm.
but they worked at it. Though.
Yeah,
the players worked at it. They got the players to buy in and finish good. Here's why it's important, because an assistant coach that's coaching at a university now, that a coach got fired. The new head coach, you would like for them to interview you. He is going to look at the practice tape and the game tape from when you took over, or for when the previous coach was fired. He'll look at all of it, but he's going to make sure that you got to put forth your effort, the same amount of effort, recruiting calls, all that stuff. You got to be detailed, because that's a better measurement of you. Because what do you do when it's hard? Because you're going to face hard times in the season. As a player, ideally you'd like to stay, but say you're a player that's playing and you want to stay or whatever, and you want to kind of fit into the, I'm sure every coach would come in, you're still my guys and stuff. They're looking at how you practice. They're looking at how you play. Do you look like you already tapped out? The college is just the NFL, man. I mean,
it is now.
You get graded harder once you're kind of realistically out of the playoffs, how you are as a teammate, everything that matters. Are you early or late to meetings? Are your guy just shows up right at time and all that? It's constantly an evaluation process. So I would, obviously I don't talk to any of the players at all these other universities. This is where you really got to really show your stuff, because you become more appealing, not only at that university, but when you go in the portal. All those coaches that are leaving most likely will get jobs. They know you better than anybody that's on the rosters that they go to. But if you don't give them maximum effort, which then doesn't allow them to have a maximum chance to stay, you just burn that bridge without even opening your mouth. It's all about actions right now. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens at all these other universities, how they make the decisions, how they make these decisions in this coaching hires will let you know the trajectory that they think they're on. They won't tell you that, because they'll say we're winning, we're hiring a national championship. Like Arkansas, we're talking about all that. We want to win championships. Well, who you hire would tell me. And don't think they won't go double time with my man Bobby Petrino. They like him down there. Bobby Petrino was winning down there. You got a little, little gravel with the motorcycle on a little ride, and whatever. I mean, it's a personal business.
There's so many of these coaches too that, these universities just burn a lot of these bridges, and then it comes full circle again where they're looking for a coach, and it's like, well, I guess it's more true in the NFL, but just looking at the Miami Dolphins, it's like, who do you want to call in there? Flores, you burn a bridge with him. You can bring in
Flores ain't never going back.
Banjo, you burn a bridge with him. Like, I don't know.
You're talking about the coaches that they could hire. Yeah.
Like, if you're the Dolphins, like, you're looking out and see who do we got, and it's like, boy, we really screwed all these guys.
Yeah, and coaches. But listen, the paycheck is right. They gonna go.
That's true.
Let me ask you this then, since we're on the NFL now. We obviously got Kansas City Chiefs against the Commanders tonight. Let me ask you this: if you're the Miami Dolphins and Greer is their GM, and I know him because I know Bobby Greer, right? Patriot guy,
right?
Do you hire Bill Belichick? Right? Well, hold on. Now listen. Just follow me now. You already got the built-in excuse. Bill Belichick style is made for the NFL. You already have kind of a guy that knows him in Greer, the GM.
You know his girl's in. Down there in Miami?
Hey, listen.
Sells itself.
I'm talking football. All right?
Okay, all right.
Listen, the biggest, I guess, knock on McDaniel is what? Lack of discipline, accountability, not very detailed, big thing wise. That's right up Bill Belichick's alley.
Yeah, it is.
Now, if you're the owner, you struck out a couple times. And the guy that you fired is one of the top defensive coordinators in Brian Flores and Fangio.
Mm-hmm.
Fangio won a Super Bowl. So you like you said, you can't go there. There's not going to be a lot of guys out there that are really appealing that you like to try to be competitive. Now, also, there's nobody that knows the AFC East like Bill Belichick.
That would be a lot of fun.
Now
I can see it. If
you're right. Now, hey, I'm just saying. Now, if you're the owner, and you know you're getting rid of McDaniel now, right? And you want to bring in some discipline?
Yeah.
Listen, I can tell you this right now. They'd be the second coming potentially in their mind of Don Shula, because Don Shula was about that business. He is straight football, wants you to be physical and all that. You go Belichick?
Yeah, I think I do. That's a risk reward, but the way you're swinging and missing, I don't. Unless there's a big name that pops up, I don't feel good about anybody else.
Do you sleep better at night knowing Bill Belichick's running your team? You ain't got to worry about guys not coming.
I gotta have a sit down and figure out what the hell with UNC, because the longer he stays at UNC, the more
We only been there a year. He ain't been there a year.
Yeah, I know. What do you got? Like 70 new dudes on that team. It wasn't gonna look good, but some of the antics on the side, I don't know how much of it's media just talking about it, or
we're talking about how he wouldn't let the Patriots NFL scouts in and stuff.
Yeah, you know, some of that petty stuff.
But that's just coaches are petty.
Yeah, they are.
Would you? I'd hire him.
I'd be nervous.
I would
hire him and not read the headlines for a bit.
No, I think I would. No, I got to talk to him first.
That's what I'm saying. I need to have a conversation.
I would say, who you gonna hire? Because I need you to clean up all the things that McDaniel didn't do. We need discipline.
Mm-hmm.
We need toughness. We need accountability. We got to, I think, look, Belichick knows the NFL in and out. I think we need you to be, I don't need you to be the GM. Obviously, we're going to be lock and step, but you're not going to have total control like he did up there, but you got to work with this GM, which he knows. And then you hire your staff, and then, we'll get you the right players in conjunction with you. Why not? If you want, listen, nobody respects the Dolphins right now.
No.
Right? If you want respect in the league,
Belichick will do it.
Then you right back in the mix. You see, he wants to get back at New England, right?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah,
and he always hates my Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jets are a dumpster fire. So if you want drama down there in Miami, now granted, this is a new NFL since Belichick left, meaning the end of his New England tenure wasn't the best. But I think, if he learned from it and all that, and I'm sure, obviously you'd have to work on them. I don't think his buyout's very big at UNC.
I don't know idea. I can look it up quick.
So, yeah.
$20 million if they fire him before December 31st.
But
that's not happening.
But what is it if he takes another job? See, that's if he fires him. Yeah. What's his little transfer fee? Jacob and Lincoln said, "What's Bill's record without Tom?"
His first 3 years are fully guaranteed, no matter what, and it's a 5-year contract. I don't want to misspeak here. I don't want to use what AI notes are giving me.
Yeah,
it's giving me some rough estimates. But if he doesn't get a job anywhere else, and you just fire him, it's $20 million.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to fire him. I think he would take another job, and there's some sort of leaving fee or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens, then North Carolina can go hire another coach. I don't know if he wants to leave. I don't know if he wants to. I'm sure he wants to come back to the NFL. I'm assuming he does. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm at least that's the first call. I'm making that call right now. Hey, Bill, how you doing, man? I ain't seen you in a while, man. Man, you
I
know
love what you're doing with them Tar Heels down
No,
there.
I'll be like, man, you know what, man? Hey, you like, I know you like to fish. I know you got that boat up there, man. Why you look a little pale? Come down and get a tan, man. We got a great play. We got a great setup for you. We got plenty of cap space. Probably gonna get rid of Tyreek Hill. There's your headache. That's the first guy you can cut, right, to get everybody's attention. Hey, man. There you go. We solved it here
You
in
putting
Lincoln.
Tyreek Hill out there as the first guy to cut is crazy.
Well, that's what they usually do.
You make an example guy?
Bill Parcells. You never heard his deal? You want to send shockwaves, dude. You could cut one of their big, high-profile players.
That's one of the all right. I didn't realize this real method or just
either that or you put him in mental anguish like Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. Come back. Jay Foreman, Harrison. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, it's Monet here with The Night Before. What could be better than watching football with up to 20 beautiful ladies? The Night Before now has a 12-foot video wall for you to watch all the big games. Just like the players, you need to practice though. Repeat after me. Hey honey, I'm going to watch the game with the guys. I'll be home as soon as the game is over. It's all in the details. Come watch a game with The Night Before. Mention this ad and your first beer is $1.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
You're invited to a Halloween karaoke party at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards on October 31st. Stop by Madsen's from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. for live music and a live podcast, costume contest, poker, and of course, karaoke. Admission is free, and there's still plenty of TVs to catch the Friday night college football games as well. That's 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Friday, October 31st for the Halloween karaoke party at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holder.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Very short segment. Jay Foreman, Harrison on the ones and twos. Obviously, Nebraska against the Midland Warriors. Tipping off at about 6:03, 6:04 actually. And then, obviously, continue listening on The Ticket because we got NFL tonight. Kansas City Chiefs at the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, go Chiefs.
Yeah. It's the got to have it game for the Commanders. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing. The team that was on the uptick through all the way up to the NFC Championship looks like they're going to be on the outside looking in. But the Chiefs are about to start rolling. But what we're about to do, Harrison, we're about to roll off these airwaves. You know that?
Like a minute.
All right. I mean, hey, Harrison, you got me scared. You like the dude that always keeps me on time, man. You always like. Now I want to get out of here, but
hey man, I gotta follow a clock. I don't know. You guys are knuckleheads.
I'm looking at that right there. But look, man, a lot going on. Obviously, Nebraska against USC.
What's your biggest fear for Husker hoops? I was listening.
Biggest fear?
Yeah, or concern?
I'd probably just say defensive rebounding.
Yeah, mine's same line, just the interior presence.
Yeah, I think they'll shoot better. I like the kind of. They got a plethora of shooters. So like
Sanford is Siegen.
Yeah, some guys
wants to do what he wants. Even Hoiberg.
See offense, and that's going to be a team rebounding thing. I think our guards need to rebound good this year, and then I'll say the ability to create easy buckets off transition because I think Gary and those guys were able to do that last year. So
defense too.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously BYU is good, but you still gave up 89. Now you got 90, which is great, but. Juwan Gary was also kind of that defensive leader. So someone will have to take that and force a role.
Yeah, we'll see. The Big Ten Network, but more importantly, stay tuned to The Ticket. Chiefs, Commanders, Jay Foreman, my man Harrison. We'll holler at you tomorrow.